So people are going to be required, and I dare say, none of you please ever present a paper which comes out of what Perplexity or what is it called, or ChatGPT or whatever. Finally, please make sure you have a look, because sometimes you may get such erratic outputs which can put you into trouble. And it's very easy to figure out what is a human output and what's a ChatGPT. Very, very easy for any decent, half-decent mind to understand.
Okay. Yeah. I'm actually, if you don't mind, I'm going to go already.
Question from me? Yes. One of the issues we had with the Trump tariffs was obviously our currency got hammered. Love to know your perspective of how long do you think it's going to take for the recovery process to begin, particularly because the EU, in my mind, what does the recovery process look like? Because I do think investor flows are going to depend to somewhat on that.
So thank you. That was a very intriguing conversation. My question is, obviously, India is the largest, fastest growing economy. Is the aim of India to address climate change a moral responsibility of India? Or do you see climate change as the greatest economic opportunity that India has? Especially in light of the entire climate justice issue.
So I think you touched upon AI. I'm part of the World Bank Group, and we have a country partnership framework to work with the government to really increase the number of jobs here. Did AI figure in the FTA discussions with the US? Because as they all say, data is the new oil. We also have a lot of proprietary data on which startups will make their models. But in terms of technology, in terms of large language models, frontier models and GPUs, etc., they're still years behind. So maybe there can be some collaboration that India can strategically do with countries so that AI can be used for the benefit of our citizens and also create jobs.
Okay, just to address the three, Amit, I have always been very bullish on the Indian rupee. I personally think it's depreciated far more than it should have. I was just in the car reading my numbers of export for the first 14 days of February. Just 14 days of February. It's double-digit growth in goods export. Services exports are in runaway growth. December was 26% growth, the last official figure available in services. I don't know from where the stock market comes up with this fancy thinking, punting. I personally believe that currently the US at such high interest rates is possibly still holding back large flows of capital. I don't see those interest rates falling in the near future. Whatever changes may have happened there. From the two Walsh, the chosen Walsh seems to suggest that interest rates may not fall. But if they should fall, it'll only mean a lot more flows, but it'll also mean the American economy will then see its own problems, which is not good for the globe or for India also. We want a strong US economy for our own growth imperatives. So there are too many interconnected issues which will determine that. I'm not the greatest currency expert. How Reserve Bank looks at it in the future, how taxation impacts foreign flows, what is the kind of money that will flow into India. But my gut feeling is, as he rightly pointed out, with our reducing dependence on oil or oil intensity of the GDP, with our greater focus on Atmanirbharta, self-reliance, and insulating our supply chains, with the work that we've done to answer your question, while we've not engaged on AI as a full track, this is only the intelligent trade. And AI is usually discussed at a separate track altogether, not the FTA track. We have focused on getting technology equipment. We have focused on getting GPUs. We have focused on getting data centers into India, which is ultimately also investment and recurring income. The income tax benefit given on foreign investors, setting up data centers for cloud services abroad. So it's a very well crafted story. And my own sense is while we have seen depreciation of the rupee and some of it is significantly fast because of the US treaty not being announced for some time, I don't think the current global situation warrants this value. So those investors who delay coming into the country do so at their own peril. And smart investors will use this $91 today to get more money into the market and probably then make good out of it. Somewhat to your question, on climate justice, I've already made my views clear. We have been cheated by the developed world. Absolutely no two opinions about it. Having said that, India remains committed to its climate goals. So irrespective of the fact that we never saw the light of those technologies that were promised, give a simple example, air conditioning. There's a newer way of air conditioning which will reduce the ozone impact on the ozone layer. But it's almost twice as expensive. But two companies only have it, and they're not willing to partake in it. And I've been telling the developed countries and their leaders that, look, you should source that technology, pay them for their investment or cost of development, but make it an open source technology. Imagine the amount of good it will do for the whole world. But sadly, the developed countries and the multinationals, the large multinationals, for all the talk of net zero and all, their profits prevail over public good. We in India still believe in public good prevailing over profit. And it's not only government. You can sense that even intrinsically in a corporation in India, because or even in a company that's for profit, because there is an innate Indianness where we respect nature, where we respect half of us in this room, or at least I pray to the sun god every day. Not now when solar energy has become popular, but since I was born. Now we in India knew the sun is the source of energy, the ultimate source of energy for thousands of years. The world is recognizing that. Prime Minister Modi spoke about one world, one sun, one world, one grid in 2006 or 7 or thereabouts, around that, not 2 years later. 20 years ago. Now the world is talking of subsea cables and transferring solar energy from one country to the other as the sun moves and as solar energy is generated different points of time. So I think for us, it's profit out of sustainability. Unhappiness about the failure of the developed world, but still undeterred from our path.
I think we have one question from my side. Sorry. I think we're closing in. One last question.
Yeah, can I? I have a question around BRICS currency. Do you think the time for BRICS currency,
No.
a reserve asset
No.
or settlement currency?
No.
Sir, since our founders are here, first of all, on behalf of everyone, thanks to PM Modi and your government for supporting startups through Startup India funds, more allocations, IDIF fund, and so on. So your ministry is doing quite a lot. Few words of encouragement and future plan of action.
Well, I think I've said that on so many occasions.
गुड सर जैसे सरकार की प्रायोरिटी है जॉब क्रिएशन करना तो जैसे क्लाइमेट जो है देयर आर सो मच इनोवेशन हैपनिंग तो जैसे हमारा पॉल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड है तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि जैसे आप इंडस्ट्री मिनिस्टर है कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर देयर इज अपॉर्चुनिटी टू क्रिएट मोर वेंचर्स वेयर गवर्नमेंट विल जॉइन वेंचर पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप एक्चुअली एंड गो ऑन एग्जीक्यूशन दोस इनोवेशन टू बी इंप्लीमेंटेड तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि
देखिए उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने में जो मदद चाहिए वो जरूर मांगना। जहाँ पे भी कोई पॉलिसी ऐसी है जो आपको डिटर करती है जिसमें हम मदद कर सकते हैं जरूर आवश्यक लिखना। मुझे भी लिख सकते हो, देवेंद्र को भी लिख सकते हो, हम सब तत्पर रहेंगे आपकी सेवा करने। ये भूल के भी लाइफ में, भूल के भी इन यंग इनोवेटर्स और स्टार्टअप्स को ये सुझाव मत देना कि सरकार के साथ जॉइंट वेंचर करो। सरकार को अपने बंधन से बाहर रखो, आप ज्यादा तेजी से सफल होंगे। सरकार का काम है एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, सरकार का काम है गुड गवर्नेंस, व्यापार आपको
Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your time and for your august presence. And thank you so much, Ridham sir, as well, to moderating it as a storyteller. Would like to request Dr. Harish Ahuja to felicitate sir on behalf of NSC. Yeah, so we understand sir is not well and
DCLR.